Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jay, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to make brown sugar. I'm also going to teach you how to make powdered sugar. I'm going to split it into two separate videos, but I wanted to start with brown sugar because admittedly I use a heck of a lot more brown sugar in the kitchen than I do powdered sugar. For brown sugar, I often swap out white granulated sugar for brown sugar in a recipe. It's a 1-to-1 swap because I really enjoy the depth of flavor that brown sugar gives a recipe. This is really easy to do. And it's fun because you can buy granulated white sugar in bulk. I like to get it organic from Azure Standard. You can buy a big 50-pound bag, and then when you need brown sugar, you can sacrifice a little bit of that white sugar to turn it into brown sugar, and you're not having to buy both. So it's really cost effective. It only takes a minute to do, and you can control how much of it you produce. If you're someone like me who uses a lot, then you can make a lot, or if you only need a cup for a recipe and you're finding that you're out, you can just make 1 cup worth. So it's really fun for those reasons. And again, so easy. It's a 1-to-1 ratio for light brown sugar and a 1-to-2 ratio for dark brown sugar, meaning 1 cup of sugar to 1 tablespoon of molasses for light brown, 1 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of molasses for dark brown. Now, of course, there are really no true rules here. It's kind of your taste and your preference. You could make this very, very, very dark, or you could make it very, very light. It's kind of whatever you want. But what you will find across many recipes on the internet is, like I said, 1 tablespoon molasses to 1 cup of sugar for light brown sugar, 1 cup of white granulated sugar, 2 tablespoons molasses for dark brown sugar. So I'm going to start by making light brown sugar, show you what it looks like, and then I'm going to add a 2nd tablespoon of molasses to make it dark brown sugar because that's actually what I need. So I have my food processor here. You can do it in a food processor. You can do it in a blender. You can do it by hand if you don't have any of these tools. I mean, if you have a hand mixer even, I would do that because it's going to take you a while to stir in that molasses in a way that the sugar is truly coated in it. So if you have a tool like this, I would recommend using it. So here I have 1 cup of granulated white sugar. Here I've got molasses. I did read online not to use blackstrap molasses. I don't know why. I honestly don't even know what blackstrap means. So just know I read online not to use blackstrap for whatever reason. So you want 1 tablespoon of molasses, and it doesn't have to be perfect or anything. And I'm just going to kind of drizzle that over the white sugar in my food processor. Now I'm going to go ahead and pulse this, and I'm going to leave the entire pulsing process in the video. Often I edit this out, but I want you to get a real idea for how long it actually takes. And now, as you can see, we have, let's see if I can show you adequately. We have brown sugar. It feels like brown sugar. It's got the consistency, that real like kind of thick, sticky consistency that brown sugar has. It's got that consistency. It's got that light brown sugar color. It's beautiful. And it smells really good. It smells like brown sugar, but better. Now, like I said, I want to we've got light brown sugar, and if that's what you wanted, you can stop here. But I am going to add a 2nd tablespoon, and you can, if you're after dark brown sugar, you can just add both tablespoons from the start, but I wanted to show you what both looked like. So I'm going to add another tablespoon of molasses and do the same process to get dark brown sugar. All right, you guys, so here is our fresh brown sugar that we just made compared to the store-bought stuff. And look at, so I could have added more molasses to this to make it a little bit darker, but honestly, I think ours looks so much fresher and more vibrant than the store-bought stuff. To be fair, this is not new. This is what's left of the bag that I bought. So, you know, it's not fresh, but I just want to show you how similar in consistency they are. That's got that like kind of wet sand consistency. And then here it's got that very similar kind of wet sand consistency. So we have our very own homemade brown sugar. All right, you guys, and now we have homemade brown sugar, dark brown sugar. But I did show you how to make light brown sugar. Now the thing with this is, and it's a little obvious, if you use a cup of white sugar, you're gonna end up with about a cup of brown sugar. Obviously, a little bit more because you are adding in another ingredient. You have the molasses, and so obviously that does add something to it, but you're getting about a cup. And that's what we have here, and that's all I was really interested in making. But you can get crazy. You can make as much of this as you want or as little of it as you want. Now here's the thing about the molasses. This container of molasses that I have is about halfway full. It's up to this mark here. I bought this 2 years ago. So sometime in 2020 I bought this thing of molasses. Because I made some holiday cookies. So it's been about 2 years. This doesn't expire until 2025. So if I bought this in 2020, that means the shelf life for this, it just says Best Buy. So that doesn't even mean it's expired. It's just not as good as it was 5 years prior. So this thing can sit on your shelves for years, and it's not expensive. I honestly don't remember what I bought it for, but dollars. I mean, it wasn't crazy expensive. And it takes so little to create brown sugar, as you've seen, that it's worth having just for that reason. Even if you don't use it for anything else, but I do occasionally use molasses for certain recipes outside of just the brown sugar. So here's one of the reasons why I think that this recipe is a really good idea and why it's a good idea to keep the molasses in your cabinet. It's happened to me before where I've been in a recipe, I've already started, I've mixed some ingredients together, and I've realized that I don't have enough brown sugar that the recipe called for. It happens to me with brown sugar for some reason all the time, where I realize I don't have enough because honestly I don't buy it as often as I probably should. And so that's what encouraged me to learn how to make it. I knew that you could, I had heard that before, and I just assumed it was harder than what it really is. But like I said, you can make as much or as little of this as you need. I mean, you can make a cup, a half a cup, you can make 2 cups, you can make however much brown sugar you need to make just by having white granulated sugar and molasses. So it's a really good idea to keep those 2 essential ingredients, and that way you can make brown sugar whenever you need it. And it's just one more item that you can take off your grocery list. You don't have to worry about buying it. You don't have to worry about how much of it you keep on hand because you can make it whenever you want. Do I think that it's essential? Not necessarily. I mean, you can continue buying it from the store. I looked at the brown sugar that I have in my cabinet and the ingredients just said sugar, molasses. So it's not like you're cutting out preservatives or chemicals or anything, but it's just, I like it because it helps me have a little bit more control in the kitchen over the freshness of my ingredients and how much I have on hand and how often I need to replace it and things like that. So I just wanted to make sure that you had the knowledge, because every time you learn how to make something yourself that you don't have to buy from the store, you're taking back a little bit of that control at a time. And I wanted to start here because this is so simple. Anybody could do it, and the only thing that you may need to add that you didn't have before was molasses, and it's a very, very, very small investment to be able to do this. So guys, I hope you learned something new. I'm going to clean up and I'm going to go ahead and film powdered sugar and show you how to make that. Also very, very easy. So I'll see you guys then. Be blessed. Bye, friends.